In the late 16th century, England made its first serious attempts to establish a permanent foothold in North America. These efforts would center on a small island off the coast of what is now North Carolina, Roanoke Island, and would ultimately give rise to one of history's greatest unsolved mysteries, the Lost Colony. The Roanoke Colony refers to two separate English settlement attempts sponsored by Sir Walter Raleigh. The first began in 1585 as a largely military outpost. The second, established in 1587, would vanish without a trace. The first colony was founded in 1585 under Governor Ralph Lane. Its mission was primarily strategic, to explore the region, assess natural resources, and secure England's claim against rival European powers. Although the plan called for fewer than 70 settlers, nearly 600 men arrived, with about half expected to remain. Among them were scientists, metallurgists, artists, and Native Americans Manteo and Wanchese, who had previously visited England. From the beginning, the colony struggled. Supplies ran low and relations with nearby Native American tribes deteriorated. When a resupply mission was delayed, Lane made the decision to abandon the settlement. In 1586, the colonists returned to England with Sir Francis Drake. 2 weeks later, Sir Richard Grenville finally arrived with supplies, but finding the colony deserted, he left behind a small detachment of men to maintain England's claim before sailing home himself. Despite this failure, supporters of colonization urged Sir Walter Raleigh to try again. Plans were made for a new settlement, this time intended to be a true civilian colony, rather than a military outpost. The new destination was supposed to be Chesapeake Bay, believed at the time to be near a possible route to the Pacific Ocean. In 1587, a second group of settlers arrived under the leadership of John White, who was appointed governor. This time, the colonists included women and children. Among them were White's pregnant daughter Eleanor and her husband, Ananias Dare. However, events quickly went off course. During a stop near Roanoke Island, the ship's pilot, Simon Fernandez, refused to carry the colonists onward to Chesapeake Bay. Instead, he forced them to disembark at Roanoke, the site of the previous failed colony. When White and his party explored the island, they found the remains of Lane's settlement. The fort had been dismantled. The houses were empty and overgrown. Human bones suggested violence had occurred. Soon after, one of the new colonists, George Howe, was killed while gathering food alone. Tensions with local tribes escalated, leading to a tragic misunderstanding in which English settlers mistakenly attacked Native Americans who had been friendly to them. Relations were only repaired through the efforts of Manteo, who was later baptized and named Lord of Roanoke. On August 18, 1587, Eleanor Dare gave birth to a daughter named Virginia, the first known English child born in North America. Another child was reportedly born soon after. Despite this hopeful moment, conditions worsened. The settlers lacked food, supplies, and security. They decided to relocate inland, about 50 miles up Albemarle Sound, and begged Governor White to return to England to seek help. White reluctantly agreed. He left Roanoke on August 27, 1587, fully intending to return quickly. But history intervened. War between England and Spain delayed White's return for 3 years. When he finally came back to Roanoke Island in 1590, the settlement was completely abandoned. No bodies were found. No signs of struggle remained. The only clue was a single word carved into a wooden palisade, CROATOAN. White believed this indicated the colonists had relocated to CROATOAN Island, home to Manteo's people. But before he could investigate, storms and rough seas forced his ships to abandon the search and return to England. The Roanoke settlers were never seen again. Over the centuries, Theories have ranged from assimilation with Native American tribes to disease, starvation, or violent destruction. Reports from later English settlers spoke of Native Americans with European features, but no conclusive evidence was ever found. The mystery faded from public attention until the 19th century, when historians revived interest in the lost colony, especially the story of Virginia Dare, whose fate remains unknown. More than 400 years later, the disappearance of the Roanoke Colony continues to haunt American history, standing as the earliest and most enduring mystery of English settlement in the New World.